Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I thought I'd take you for a little tour here of what I've been up to for the past couple of 2 or 3 weeks. It's actually been quite hectic around, and of course, we've been continuing to prep for just who knows whatever might come down the pipeline here pretty soon. So anyways, another thing we've been doing obviously is we've got this new property. We've been working on it, and man, there is a lot of junk here. So we've been going around picking up the junk out of the weeds, and we've been actually cutting back quite a bit. Hopefully you can see out over here, this whole pasture, I actually mowed this whole thing out here. I mowed this whole thing with the Cub Cadet riding lawnmower. I wouldn't recommend it, and I'm not gonna do it too many times, but it actually got the job done. And you know, it needs to be mowed again, but I'll swing around here and kind of show you guys around at what we've been working on. And I guess we'll call this series Trash and Treasure, because I found a few things that we can reuse, like this little trailer, pickup bed trailer. It was totally full of garbage. I mean, household garbage, like the kind of stuff you're supposed to either throw in the trash or burn or something. But they weren't doing that. They were throwing it in. This was one of the places they were putting it. So we've just using our normal dumpster, we've gotten out several loads of disintegrated plastic bags and gotten those out to the dump. Lots of aluminum cans around. Let's see here. Bunch of metal. You wouldn't want to hit any of that with your brush hog or your riding lawnmower. It would destroy it. So anyways, just a lot of junk. And I think we'll be able to either use this little trailer or possibly sell it. You know, I've actually already got a trailer over here. I've actually already got this trailer here. It's hard to see it because of the lighting here, but it's a little Toyota small truck trailer, and it's perfect for my Bombardier, so I really don't need another one. So I may end up selling that. I brought these metal cabinets over from my place just so I'd have a place to kind of store and separate things that I want to keep, because there is some good stuff out here. I was out riding around on the Bombardier a week or two back, and I came along this big diesel tank that was out in the pasture, basically out, and it was kind of sort of in a gully. It makes me think that maybe something's wrong with it, but it looks intact, and it looks like an old school one, so it looks like it's made out of some pretty thick steel. I told my wife, if nothing else, we can do something with it, even if we can't use it for a fuel storage tank anymore. Maybe it's compromised or something, but maybe we can. An old grill, a couple of old junky riding lawnmowers. He said one of these ran, but it looks pretty far away from running to me. Maybe it did run. I'm sure they all ran at one time, but you know, getting them going again is the thing. A whole bunch of propane bottles. I've seen people do some pretty cool stuff with those, such as making those kind of farmhouse style hanging lamps that you see, or hanging lights that you see in people's houses. You can take those things and cut them down, do a little work on them. And of course, always be careful if you're dealing with something that had propane in it, you know, in the past. This video is not going to be about that, but you know, there's things you need to do first before you go to cutting into a propane bottle. But you know, I've got quite a few of them there. There's 5 right there, and 4 more small ones. And I think that big one's either acetylene or probably propane. Some other kind of big weird welding thing that's like it's definitely got a hole in it right there for picking up with a tractor or something. I don't know what in the world that's for. Maybe for driving T-posts, actually. It might be a big giant T-post driver that you could raise up with a chain and, you know, drop it on a T-post. I don't know. It looks pretty wide for that. Whole bunch of concrete blocks, which most of them are brand new and in good condition. Some of them are broken, and I've still got a lot more to pick up out here in this front pasture here, this front little area right here, between here and the gravel that you can see. Haven't done anything with this trailer here yet. I've been waiting for getting a hold of some sort of a piece of equipment. If I can get my father-in-law's tractor over here, I can probably push the rest of it down, and then it wouldn't be such an eyesore, because honestly, it's about ready to fall down anyways. A big stiff gust of wind may come along and blow that over. Got an old like 90s model Dodge Fender here, and a whole bunch of this wire. And this wire has just been strewn, how would you say that? Strewn, I guess, about all over the pasture. And you wouldn't want to hit this with a brush hog, so I'm trying to find the end of it. I mean, this is some serious freaking cable. So I don't know if that's old welding wire. I think that's what that is, if I had to guess. But I've got several of these great big steel pipes that I can do different things with. It's too bad that that fatter one's not a little bigger, because it could be used as a culvert. Maybe it still could, but it would be like for small vehicle traffic, like a four-wheeler or something like that, or a footbridge maybe. Lots of chicken wire, a couple of weird springs, plenty of trash cans, but none of them had trash in them until we got here, so that was interesting. Part of a wheelbarrow. I actually had this all mowed and weed eated down, and a lot of this junk is just trash. This is an old ammo crate, and I'm not sure, it probably is too far gone to do anything with, but my wife wanted to save it. Some random golf clubs, and I'm not into golfing. Some broken lawn mowers, broken weed eaters. That thing's locked up, so it's of no value. An old window unit. Most of this stuff's going to end up going to the dump. I saved this because it's actually got some pretty cool looking wheels on it that would probably work for a utility purpose. So I'm hoping to just take those wheels off. Hopefully they got bearings in them. And also there's some interesting steering mechanism components on this thing. So I may salvage a few bits off of this thing before I throw it away. Broken rototiller. Probably just try to sell that in a lot with those two broken lawnmowers I showed you, the riders. And probably that one too. Just put all those in a lot and see if somebody, give me 75 or 100 bucks for them. Part of an engine stand. So missing the center part, the most important part, but I've actually got a 3-legged stand over at my other main shop, and I could probably, if as long as the diameter is the same or real close, I can probably use the yoke and the center spider thing, whatever that thing's called that holds the engine. I can probably use that on this stand, but I'm going to have to go through it and clean the wheels up and do some stuff. Not sure what all that is. My wife's been bagging stuff up, bunch of bricks, some whirly-doos or whatever you call those things, the vents for the top of your house. And we've been finding that stuff out here just randomly. I mean, like you'll go along and then there'll be a pile of some weird stuff that you wouldn't want to hit with any machine. So these are interesting. Don't know what we're going to do with them. A whole bunch of tires. I've been looking into some different things, useful things that I can do with those. One thing I mentioned in another video is possibly filling them up with concrete like they used to do in the old gymnasiums back in the day, in the old school days. It's probably against regulation now for them to do that. It probably violates some OSHA thing, but back when I was a kid, they would fill concrete tires up with concrete and stick a big giant gymnasium fan in there and roll them around and use the tire to kind of roll them around and move them. It was pretty clever, but we're talking about using them for like electric fence posts and electric fence corners, and I think that'll be good. Whole bunch of junk bicycles. There's a little tugboat over there. Some old wood, all kinds of stuff. Here's one for you. We'll call this the mystery tool of the day. This thing is interesting. We've got some trailer skirting here and a piece of grate that, as a welder, I can use a lot of that stuff. Quite a bit of old wood. And this is kind of my steel pile. So I found this thing here, this piece here, that clearly somebody made. And it looks like it goes, you can see that deal there in the back, that other red piece there, that has this big end on it here. Now my guess is it's somehow like a hay elevator or something like that. And it was like a manual hay elevator so that you could get them up to a higher level and store your hay. But I have no idea. So if you guys have any guesses on what that reddish thing is, that's what I'm talking about with all the round tubing back here in the back. It looks like it has some sort of a strap right there and a cradle. And I'm guessing that's for the old square bales of hay. And it goes all the way down there. It's real long, so it's obviously a fulcrum. And I think this was the stand that it kind of pivoted on. But that's just a guess. I have no idea. So if you guys have ever seen something like that before, and I can't really show you the end because it's jammed into there, but anyways, I've got an old Dodge truck hood, and I saw on Wrangler Star years ago he was talking about using a Jeep hood to use for like a skid or a sled for around your property, and I got to tell you, it's excellent. I threw quite a bit of this wood and just different things on there, and was able to carted around the yard with my bombardier, so that was pretty fun. And a lot of wheels, a lot of car parts, giant pickup bed liner for something. I'm gonna have to restore this thing for my sister. She loves these old reel mowers, so I'll have to get that going for her. We got looks like one usable rabbit hutch here at the bottom, and another one that's kind of in pretty bad disrepair. Now we're not going to go over there to it, but you can see this boat, and most of this stuff I pulled it up out of the pasture with the bombardier, so I was pretty impressed by that. Let's see if I can get a good shot of that boat. It's actually pretty cool looking. It's like an old 50s or maybe 60s model fiberglass boat, and it's really cool looking. But the floor is gone in it because it's been sitting out in the elements. The motor is in a couple of pieces because the lower end is off of it. The trailer tires are just shredded. I mean, they're terrible. And anyways, I was going to save it for the trailer and make a little utility trailer or something, because old boat trailers are great little light duty utility trailers to like pull a lawnmower around or, you know, light duty stuff. But I just need to get rid of it. I need to get it off the property. We've got so much junk that I don't want to hang on to it and then talk myself into restoring it or whatever. But yeah, I've got a giant tractor tire there that's no good, and some other tires and a random corner post. But yeah, just wanted to give you guys a little look around here at what we've been doing. Believe it or not, it's getting a lot better. We've picked up all the trash from out here, and you can see where I've mowed it with my mower, my rider, and over there across the way, I haven't gotten to that yet. And hopefully I can get a brush hog in here, because that's what I'm going to need to take care of this from here on out. You can see here, that's pretty much some washout. We've been getting a lot of rain this year. It's unbelievable how much rain we've gotten. So my plan right now is I'm pulling all the junk out of the weeds and kind of getting it up in here where they had a trailer parked, because the grass isn't growing as fast here. So the idea is get it up here where I can cart it out easier. I can load it onto a trailer easier. And I ordered one of these string trimmer things. They call it a field trimmer, I think. There's several different names for it, but it's basically a push mower style weed eater. It's got a weed eater head on the front, but it's got a push mower engine, you know, like a 4-cycle, I don't know, 5 or 6 horsepower engine. And it holds some pretty substantial string line. So I'm going to come in here and get all these, you know, use that string trimmer and go up in here to where I can see these kinds of things like this cinder block. You know, you can't hit that with a mower or a brush hog. And there's glass bottles. I don't think that's actually glass, but there are glass beer bottles in here. Old coat hangers, big pieces of plastic. So that's what we've been up to. We're trying to pick this stuff out of here so that we don't have to shred it in a million pieces. Oh, and I was going along with my push mower recently, and I found one of these things. It's basically a mobile home anchor of some kind, where they had a mobile home here. And I need to put that block on it, because I definitely don't want to hit another one. I'm surprised I didn't destroy my mower, but it actually kept on going, the push mower. But yeah, that's why I don't want to run it around here, is because there's just so much crap in here that you'll be mowing along and, you know, hit a big concrete block or a big piece of steel. So that's what we're up to. Cleaning out the stuff. We're talking more and more about building up here closer to the front, but it'll be back behind this trailer here that I call flea bottom. So it'll be back past that somewhere. There's a little drop off back there, and if we can build it up, you know, we're gonna have to look at how the water flows and stuff around there. But if we can build that up and make a nice big pad, it would be nice to be able to look down and see the pond down there from the house. So that would be good for a couple of reasons. You can keep, you know, these people that like to come on your property and sneak on and fish, you can keep them off of it a little easier. This little building over here, my wife's been busting her butt trying to get this thing cleaned out, and we have. And she even had to spray a bunch of bleach down on the floor, because basically rats and mice or something had been getting in there and pooping for who knows how many years, and you don't want to get that hantavirus. So a lot of that stuff you got to be careful about. And over here, that place I call flea bottom, that trailer there, we've been just staying out of there for right now, because the fleas are just so incredibly bad over there that literally I've flicked off 30 to 40 off of each leg just walking over there. You walk over near that place and you're going to get totally covered with fleas. It's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. Oh, and by the way, we've put the flea bombs in the trailer. I've sprayed it down with the tetracide or some kind of spectracide or some kind of poison I bought from Lowe's. I've used some powder stuff that I got from the dollar store. Nothing is even knocking a dent in them. So Unfortunately, what I would like to be able to do is just light that thing on fire and burn that whole trailer down. But apparently that's not legal to do that. You actually have to, that's what I've been told, is you have to actually break it apart and drag it over somewhere else and burn it separate, so that, you know, or you could lay it all down and burn it right there, but you're not allowed to just light it ablaze like that, is what they were saying. So I don't know. I'm going to do some more research on that, check with the fire department and see what they say about that. But got a lot of cedar trees out here I'm going to have to get out of here because they suck out like 80 gallons a day, and they're an invasive species. So anyways, I've got a lot of those I'm going to have to cut out. The one good thing about that is the cedar wood is a good outdoor wood. It makes really good fence posts. So I'm going to be building a lot of fence in the future, it looks like. And maybe in the next video, I'll take you over and show you what a sorry job these people that I bought the property from here. They were supposed to build a fence along the fence line, and I'll have to take you over there one of these days and show you what a sorry job they did, and how we kind of burned ourselves because we didn't have anything in writing about the specifications or the requirements of the fence. But we had the old lady's word that it was going to be done a certain way. And as it turned out, she either forgot or whatever you'd say, but she hired her kids to do it. And it looks like no barbed wire fence I've ever seen in my life looks like that. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So seeing's believing. I'll take you over there one of these days and show you. I've been bringing T-posts over from my other property because I know we're going to be putting a lot of fencing up around here for security reasons and for livestock and stuff like that in the future. So guys, appreciate you sticking with the channel, tuning in. I know this wasn't the most exciting video. I thought about doing a video about politics and things that are going on, but honestly, I'm just too aggravated by everything right now to make a calm video without me being all pissed off about it, because everything that they're doing right now is just, it's pure Maoist communism, and I hate seeing it in this country. So it puts me in a bad mood. Being out here puts me in a pretty good mood. And in fact, I wasn't even going to make a video because I was feeling pretty sour. I'd been listening to the news, but before I shot this, I ran down there and pulled about a 2.5 pound bass right out of the pond on plastic worm, and whoa, wouldn't you know, it cheered me right up. So guys, get you some property, get out of the city, live the dream. Kind of funny with all the junk, but I promise it'll get better. All right guys, we'll talk to you later.